Let's see. Edits. Left. Save. All right. We'll do a little bit of chat session before I go live on the gaming channel. See how many people follow us over. have a little chat, I guess. Hey, what's going on, Pletch? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, you did pretty well. It's a lot of fun being able to chat with everybody and hang out with Jack and have a good stream. It's really cool. See all follows us over, huh? What part of it did you like? What's up, Jeff? This channel rules, huh? Well, I mean, we're not doing much. Basically, just kind of hanging out until for the next hour, and then we'll. I'm going to jump on the gaming channel and live stream game. I really want to get back on Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't been playing outside of the game stream for Horizon Zero Dawn, so yeah, I've been basically anything that's in the game, I just kind of or playing the game, I leave it for the live stream itself and not play it outside of that, really. So when I shut it off or shut the stream off, I don't play it until the next time I stream. But yes, I'm going to be playing Horizon Zero Dawn. The Secret Service visiting Jack was crazy. Yeah, I mean, I was honestly, like I said, I saw the video. He sent it to me, and I was blown away. I was like, no way. That's just freaking crazy. More likely going to be on Twitch. No, you can talk about whatever. This is just a basically let's chat. We'll talk about whatever we want. There's no guidelines. It's just straight conversation. If you guys want to talk about something, I'm down. We'll talk. We'll discuss it. If you want to just hang out and shoot the shit about different things, that's cool too. If you want to talk about video games, that's great. We can do that. If you want to talk about what's going on in politics, that's fine. What else is it? Movies. If you want to talk about that, that's cool too. As far as I could tell, it was kind of like watching a ring cam. I think that's actually what I did watch was a ring cam, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it was interesting. Couldn't believe it actually happened. I was kind of doubtful at first, but after I saw the video, I was like, That's just crazy. I mean, what are the chances that the Secret Service show up to your door? I mean, like really? That's just like one in 1,000 things that could happen to you. People from Sweden, Norway, and Finland constantly are ranked happiest in the world in annual research. Why is socialism so bad? Obviously, it's working for them. Why can't we try it? Um, I just prefer not to uh, fall into communism. I want to be able to purchase property. I want to be able. I'm doing this because I'm trying to start up a business. I mean, this is basically doing this. You're self-employed, um, and I don't believe in socialism that you have those kind of opportunities. Like right now, like I think I mentioned it on the stream, or on F as in Frank, is that there's a streamer I watch that's based out of the UK, and I'm surprised she still has her channel up, um, because of all the Muslim mayors or whatever it is, uh, that they have. Um, I'm really surprised that she still is allowed to stream from that country. What do you think about Optimus Prime as depicted in the Michael Bay movies? Um, it's not bad. He's not bad. Um, it's a little bit. I mean, it's different than it was in the cartoons or the animated cartoons. Um, because he wasn't. I mean, he was still semi, but I don't know how you classify the two, or the differences between the two types of semis. Um, but yeah, the ones in the cartoons were styled one way, and then the movies obviously were different. And then, I mean, if you go into like the biggest difference though, was Megatron. Megatron was a jet, I think, in the movies, if I'm not mistaken. And in the cartoons, he was a handgun, a pistol. So that was a big difference. Tom Meyer says God has hand of protection on Jack and Tammy. I truly pray that he does, or that they do. Uh, TG, hello. Thanks for the welcome. Ziggy says, but people aren't happy in the U.S. Everyone is mad or depressed, so we should try something new. I don't think it has anything to do with capitalism or socialism. I think it has more to do with, um, honestly, if you really want my opinion, I think it has more to do with feminism. I think that everything started from there. Um, uh, what deviancy, sexual deviancy, has rooted from that. Um, it's flooded the market with employment, so it's brought like Michael said in Evans and Frank, um, it brought what was it? The basically more employees, so less wages, but um, higher consumerism, more consumers. So it kind of, I mean, it kind of fed into capitalism. I mean, capitalism kind of, I would say, absorbed because of the fact that we're capitalistic. It kind of absorbed that. Um, it was kind of like hand in hand. It just worked. But I think it was oversaturated, and that's why we're having the problems that we're having. Plus, like I said, feminism, it just destroyed everything. Um, to me, like when you have too many people that are independent, don't believe in monogamy or the family household anymore, yeah, it's going to bring down the satisfaction or the happiness in a country, in my opinion. But my question is, why would you think socialism would be the way to go? Like I told you before, socialism is basically just an economic arm of communism. So let's take communistic societies, for example. Can you tell me one where, communists or people under communist rule are happy? You think they're happy in Russia? Do you think they're happy in China? Hell, I can't even think of it. Maybe North Korea would be communistic, but let's see, communist countries. Oh yeah, Cuba. Cuba is a communist country. Vietnam, North Korea, Laos. Uh, Looks like there's only five. Would you say those are nations of or sovereignties that have happiness there? All my doctors are women. I kind of like it. Well, I'm sure most people like the fact that they're women, um, including guys, probably more so guys. Um, but personally, me personally, not trying to be rude or anything, just a personal preference. I would trust a male doctor over a female doctor, just the way I. No, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. That's just the way I feel. Harry says feminists are, as they are present day, are built off relationships with shitty men and project that shitty view on all men. Um, Honestly, I think feminism has created a society where women will stay single much, much longer or have kids outside of a relationship, or like the rise of single mothers. And it's just the outcomes from single motherhood is really, really poor. So when you have boys that grow up to be men under those circumstances, are going to be even shittier men, right? Um, the statistics just kind of prove that kind of point. So I just don't see a positive outcome under that. Um, so therefore, obviously that's going to increase the number of shitty men that are out there. And men, if you're, you have no, or men want to be providers, men want to be um, in a relationship, but if there's no reason to be, because of the way feminism has kind of destroyed the nuclear family, you know, why would men have that drive to be uh, good men anymore? You know what I mean? Am I happy right now in my current situation? Um, I'm content. I'll put it that way. I'm content. Um, I could I could see things being better, but I mean, I could definitely see things being worse. You know, it's all what I put into it. Uh, let's see. Harry also says Vietnam is communist and they're largely content. However, they are famous for sweatshops. Exactly. Well, I mean, so is China. China is famous for sweatshops too. I mean, it got to the point where people were jumping off of buildings that they had to put nets on the buildings to keep people from jumping off. So, I mean, and that's a communist country. Obviously, they're not happy if they're more suicidal. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why we're kind of push or uh, don't really want to go into socialism because, well, it's just a stepping stone. If you go into socialism, you're going to end up in communism. And yeah, we don't want that. Uh, what else we got? It looks like we got several people joining us. Let me see if I can bring this up over here. Nope. What else are we going to talk about, guys? We got another 45 minutes. Didn't I see Safe in here? No, Jeff is in here. Haven't seen Safe uh, chat yet, so he must not be in here yet. If he comes in, I don't see Janet hasn't showed up. Zesty hasn't shown up. Michael hasn't shown up. Hey, Debbie's here. Welcome in, Debbie. Unless I already noticed you in here. I'm losing track of who's here. No. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, you did say something about doctors or women. Okay. Let's see. Have you heard of Alcatraz? They're bringing the tents to the Florida Everglades to house prisoners. I did see that. I did see a video on that. I think they were having some trouble or something like that, weren't they? But I'm down for that. Anything, I'll support anything that's going to help us get the illegals out. I mean, that's going to help the economy right there. Socialism is a wait. It jumped. Sorry, guys. So Harry says socialism is a path to bankrupt a country and only works with an oppressive central government. Yes, I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that. Tom Myers, Jack has spoken openly about being raised on food stamps. Yeah, he has a socialist program. Have you utilized any programs like that before? School lunch vouchers, etc. I mean, I know I have. It's always been temporary, and I think that's what it's designed for in a capitalist country. Um, you kind of have those programs in order for people to, um, in time of need, not, I mean, I think now a lot more people use it to live off of. Um, and I'm sure in like certain situations that might be a necessity. Kind of like a Jack situation. I think he, him and his brothers lived on their own, or well, lived with their mom, and that's all the support that they had. Um, so I can understand when you got or their mother making one income and um, needing that extra help. That makes sense. Um, but I think if you have a two-parent household and you need that support, it definitely should be temporary. Because two people bringing in an income definitely there's no reason you should be on that long term. But then I don't think we should promote being on one income in the household either. I think that you definitely should strive for more than what the country can provide for you. That's why I don't know. I guess depend on like extenuating circumstances, but the general, uh, if you look at it generally, I would say that there should be time limits on public assistance. But like I said, that's just over a broad generalization. That's not every situation's got its own set of circumstances. And you're welcome, Debbie. Thanks for jumping over here. Appreciate you. Uh, did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Nope. What else we want to talk about? Anybody else got any ideas or anything they want to discuss? Let's see. Maybe I can come up with something. Uh, actually, well, we're kind of talking about socialism, so bringing up was it Mamdani or whatever his name is? It's kind of irrelevant. Um, we didn't talk about birthright citizenship on F as in Frank, even though I had that in my topics. Says, or Tom Meyer says, but Jack's mother made the decision to have so many children and to divorce his dad. Sounds like she made decisions and couldn't handle the consequences. Jimmy, can I ask what taxpayer funded? What do you mean? What taxpayer funded? Um, as far as their situation, I don't want to assume um, what the situation was with Jack's parents. Um, but the only thing I can think of um, is that his dad left. It's the only thing I can think, or only idea, or my understanding of it. I don't know for sure, so that's why I kind of don't want to like dig too much into it. But if a father leaves, um, if either parent leaves, you know, um, it's just a bad situation altogether. Harry, you said social safety net exists with capital net or within capitalism. The United States is a proof positive of that. Now it's harder to demonstrate the success of social safety nets in social or socialist countries. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Tom, you said I'm guessing you're saying resources you utilize. Um, oh, it's probably only gave you so many letters to talk or to message, right? Um, I think I used food stamps at one point in time, but again, like I said, it was kind of temporary. Um, I think it was during my time going to school. I had no assistance from my parents. I was doing it all on my own. I was going to school, working a job at the school. Um, I was I'm a veteran, so I was able to get assistance from the veterans. Um, and then food stamps while I was in school. So, but when I got my job, I didn't need it anymore. So, Debbie asks, cars. What was your first car? My first car depends on what you mean by a first car. One that I actually drove. Um, what was my first car? Because like I had an AMC Hornet. Never drove the thing. I think it made it down the street once. That's about it. Um, I had a Mustang, a '68 Mustang. Um, Drove it to work once, but there was too much that needed to be worked on to be able to drive it daily. So that didn't do well. Trying to think of after that. Uh, an ex and I got a Toyota Cressida. Um, and then my first actual like my own car was an '87 Mustang convertible. Jack has spoken. Wait. Okay. Skidmark says Jack has spoken about his dad leaving before, but if he wasn't cut out to be a father, then maybe he was. Maybe it was for the best. You won't. You wouldn't want a maniac around hitting or choking the kids. That'd be terrible. Yeah, and I mean, I agree with that. Um, but I don't know. I'm more of the type of person that if somebody is like that, there's other problems that need to be resolved, um, and that should be brought attention to. But I also think, like I said, the nuclear family has been destroyed. Um, Faith in God has, and the church has diminished over the years, because it used to be back, before the '50s, that your church would keep you in line, your neighbors would keep you in line, and when we get the government involved instead of our communities involved, um, yeah, when you start threatening people with jail time, with uh, excessive fines and stuff like that, what's the point of sticking around? You're just going to get yourself in trouble and end up in jail or paying for the rest of your life for making a mistake that you make, um, which, I mean, that's good. You should. But at the same time, I think that if communities were more involved with each other, I think there's better resolutions. And that's something we used to have and we don't any longer. Uh, let's see. Harry says to Zoran Mamdani, benefited from the ranked choice voting. Andrew Cuomo ran away with the black and brown vote. Um, Cuomo with Eric Adams will now run as independent, which will hurt Mamdani. See, I don't even know how to spell his name either, so it's hard to pronounce a name you don't know how to spell. Um, but yeah, I mean, well, Andrew Cuomo, I think, also has, like, I don't know all the details about um, his case files and history, or his the allegations or whatever. I don't know. See, I don't even know if it's allegations or if they've been proven. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I think that kind of hurts him in his race. Um, so, but I mean, it's like, who do you pick? And I actually think Gatsby kind of hit it on the head that, um, uh, what is his name? Zoran. Um, he kind of speaks to the people. He doesn't really have, like, outside of his socialism and being Muslim, he doesn't have any like negativity towards him. Um, Not like Cuomo does. So, especially with somebody like Trump, they already accuse him of different things. If they're doing the same thing to Cuomo is not going to stand a chance. But I do hope that he runs independent and gives him a run for his money that way. Hopefully, some of the other candidates will benefit from that. Uh, Tom Meyer says that's understandable. I don't think anyone in our country should go without food, even if they decide not to work and go to school instead. Yeah, I mean, in certain, like I said, in certain circumstances, I can understand. Sometimes it's something that you need in order to, you know, put food on the table, and I can completely get behind that. If I know that my taxes are going to help people that are struggling, and I'm not talking about people that want to live off of it, but people that are really struggling, then I'm down for helping people. You know what I mean? Um, but to send my money overseas instead of helping people here, I have a problem with that. I'd much rather the money that I pay into my government go to the people that need the help here. And again, like I said, not about helping people that want to live off of us and take a free handout, but people that need that little extra help. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Michael, welcome in. Welcome in. Let's see. Harry also says, wait, Harry says again, the USA is so amazing. It at once has a hunger and obesity problem. Yeah, the irony, huh? Has a hunger and an obesity problem at the same time. The irony. It wants to help the people that have obesity problems and then neglect the people that have hunger problems. Michael says his name sounds like the thing Chucky says when he transfers his soul. Yeah, that's funny. I think Cuomo and Adams will siphon Democrats from Zoran Madami. Um, will be weaker against Curtis or Sliwa, a Republican. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard somebody. He's a business owner in New York, and he made a video talking about him. Tom Meyer says, "Who cares about what those radical liberals are doing in New York City anyway?" I know I don't. Um, it's really tough because I am pro American. I am a patriot through and through. So I don't want fellow Americans to suffer. I think we all should stand up together. Um, it's the only way that we can be a country and unite is if we're able to understand each other and work with each other. Um, but at the same time, I get the sentiment that um, those that have done so much to destroy the country needs to experience what it is that they're supporting, and they need to experience what it is so they understand why those that don't want it, why we don't want it. You know what I mean? Tom Myers. Oh wait, you already read that one. Sorry. Debbie, that Curtis Silva guy gives me hives. Why is that, Debbie? Why is, oh, those are emotes. That's funny. Okay. Tom Myers, America First. Exactly. Exactly. Did you all see the I was actually looking on X, and apparently in California and some of the other states out west, they were taking like rob or ripping off the whole "Make America Great Again" instead of "Make America Great Again." They put "Make America Mexico Again." Did we anybody else see that? I thought that was yeah, that was definitely unpatriotic. That was definitely, yeah. I got no words for it. It just that's horrendous to me. Just completely against the what our country stands for and our culture. Zoran appeals to the rich white kids. there are a lot of rich white kids in New York, but will there be enough? Yeah. I mean, think about it. If he was to get in there, or if he's elected in to be mayor of New York, how many Republicans do you think will stick around? How many business owners do you think will stick around? How many landlords do you think will stick around? I mean, maybe it's the reset we need, honestly. I mean, if you really think about it, they say that the prices of real estate is that hot, that they're trying to put a freeze on real estate. And the freeze on real estate will cause the people that own, or the landlords, to not want to rent anymore. They'll sell the properties off. And when you get an influx of people selling their property, it's going to drop the value of those properties big time. So maybe they'll get what they want in the end by people selling off their properties. And then with socialism coming in there, it's just going to tank everything, just tank everything. So maybe it's the great reset we need. Let's see. Harry also says, well, I life outside of New York City. I'm guessing you're saying, well, I live outside of New York City. So it's in my news all the time. It's Rome, and as such impacts the whole region. And see, and that's the thing, like I was trying to say, was that the one thing that my what's the best word for it? Not a hang up, but one thing I don't want, or one reason why I wouldn't want that to happen in New York, is because if it happens there, outside of locking the city down or locking people into that city, which you shouldn't do. But I mean, if you want to keep that ideology from like spreading, what do? You know what I mean? Um, I think it's just going to be an infection and a plague in our country. And one city to do that, especially in New York City, when you got, I mean, it's not like California where you have LA and San Diego right there. And from my understanding, people in San Diego don't experience what's going on in LA. Um, but I mean, closest city outside of those two, I mean, San Diego and LA are about, if I remember correctly, about 2.5, 3, maybe even as much as 4 hours, depending on traffic, apart. Um, and then you've got like a 7-hour trip from LA up to San Francisco, or what's the other, San Jose. That's it. To go to San Jose. So then if you go east, the next major city, I think, I want to say it's either Vegas or Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, there's Yuma, but I don't think it's that big of a city. So a major city, you got Vegas and Phoenix. So there's a good amount of space between, right? Whereas New York, uh, you have New Jersey right there. I mean, literally right there. It's a 10-minute ride over the turnpike. Um, you've got what else? You got Boston. You've got Rhode Island. You've got or Massachusetts, I should say. I want to say even New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine are probably closer than San Francisco is to LA. So yeah, it's just something like that to happen in New York will just overwhelm that region. Tom Meyer says, Harry, just don't look at your phone, bro. Well, it's not easy to just not look at your phone and not be aware of what's in the news, especially if you're living in it or even close by to it. Michael Caine, I'm guessing that IIRC is just a um, emote. I don't know. I can't tell. But the NYPD is the fourth largest paramilitary force on the planet. Imagine putting that guy in charge of it and what he'll use it or use them for. Yeah, he's already talking about going up against ICE and preventing the deportation under Trump. So, but I do believe that Trump has can supersede the mayor um, with the National Guard and all that kind of stuff. And then NYPD, he plans on dismantling the NYPD. At least that new guy running for mayor, he plans on getting rid of the NYPD and putting social workers in there. Harry says New York wants to tax anyone who does business in New York City, regardless of whether or not their business is in New York City. It's socialist theft. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's kind of like what was it when uh, Amazon and all them were first started up, right? Um, you had if you bought it off Amazon, you were kind of able to get away with not paying tax or anything over the internet. You were kind of able to get away with not paying tax. I remember this because like when I first started doing the vape stuff, you could buy vape juice over the internet and it was tax free. But then I think they started implementing like a tax for things that you purchase from other states, and I think it the rule is now that they can tax the state that you're in and um, not the state that the product is coming from. But the state can choose, or I mean, it's the state jurisdiction to be able to tax anything coming or imported into and exported out of. So, I mean, they can do that. So, I mean, think about it. If there's something in New York and you're paying tax on it leaving New York, and then your state has to tax you in their state, you're now getting taxed twice, which is kind of reminds me of what happened in Washington. Washington implemented what a sugar tax and uh, a sin tax. So, like for example, like a bottle of alcohol, you had to pay for the bottle itself, and then you had to pay for the sin tax. Then you had to pay for sales tax on top of that. So you're making a $30 bottle of alcohol cost, I think it was over $50. So that's going to be the norm for anything coming out of or into uh, New York City. Let's see. Harry says New York. Oh wait, I already read that. Sorry. Harry also says, when is Trump going to free Joe Exotic? I'm not sure. That's a good question. There's a lot of people. I think people have made comments about him freeing. Uh, Michael says there was no state sales tax for years with online. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Um, you didn't have to pay state sales tax for Amazon. You didn't have to pay state sales tax um, for anything that you purchased online. Really, like if it was an online store, you didn't have to. Amazon just happens to be the most common store that people utilize on the internet. But yeah, it didn't matter what you bought online. You didn't have to pay state tax for it. Let's see. Tom Meyer says, "What's your opinion on the SCOTUS ruling that states are allowed to ban uh, porn?" Um, I think that's a good thing, honestly. Um, cuts back on degeneracy. Um, I don't know. I can only go from my like personal perspective on things, but I can understand that you might see an uptick in crime. I could see that happening. Um, but I don't know. I don't think it'll ever be truly banned because I mean, with things like VPNs and um, was it private purchases, like especially products like that. Like I've heard of things where they'll sell it to you and put it say you buy like a bunch of videos and they put it into a TV box or whatever. Or, you know what I'm saying? That makes sense. They'll put it into some other kind of products box, so in that way you can purchase it and no one's the wiser, kind of thing. I've heard of things like that happening. Um, so I don't think they'll completely ban or be able to ban things or things off the black market like that. So it might be all for naught, to be honest. Michael Caine says 99-cent songs on iTunes were indeed 99 cents back then. Yeah, yeah. I remember, God, I remember when, groceries and stuff like that were uh, tax free. And I've been places where you still get taxed on groceries. Harry asked, are states banning porn or are they requiring age verification? I guess you're asking Tom. Um, Tom says it's a ban. By your logic, California hasn't banned assault rifles, just made it impossible to obtain. So much freedom. Yeah. I mean, so yes, technically you can't purchase them in California, from my understanding. Um, and honestly, I don't even think you can. I don't think you can purchase an assault rifle at all in most places. Um, but then people misinterpret the what an assault rifle actually is. Um, but nonetheless, I don't believe you can buy an AR-15 in California that I know of. I mean, I'll look it up real quick. Can you buy an AR-15 in California? Although it is illegal to purchase an see that misinterpretation of the word assault rifle. But it says, although it is illegal to purchase an assault rifle, there are legal workarounds that allow AR type firearm to be compliant with California law. See, a federal judge Thursday overturned California's 3-decade-old ban on assault weapons. Man, I don't think people really know what an assault rifle is. Finding it has no equivalent in early American history and is therefore unconstitutional. Court stays ruling against California assault weapon ban. Um, and actually, I don't know how the law would work on that because I think federally they've uh, made some changes to um, gun ownership federally. So, like, I think uh, um, suppressors are now legal. Um, what was it? Um, what was the other one? The other one where you could use like a brace on your pistol, or I think it's called short barrel rifles. I think that's what it was. Um, those are have been legalized federally. Um, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how that would work with state to state, because I think a state still has a right to make their own local restrictions. Um, but I think they still have to stay within the confinement of federal law, if I'm not mistaken. Tom Meyer says, I believe in small government and government staying the hell out of my business. Exactly. I completely agree. The fewer people we have in government, the better. It was never meant to be a large entity. We should not have as many politicians as we do. Um, Hell, I think having so many representatives is actually a bad thing as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, it just we got too many three-letter agencies. We got too many representatives. I mean, they're trying to increase the number of justices in the Supreme Court. Um, just all sorts of like growth for the government, and just yeah, we need to shrink the government as much as possible. That's why I think Doge was a great thing for this country. Uh, Michael says you can with appropriate credentials. Are you talking about buying a AR in California? NRA isn't even useful anymore. We call them the negotiating rights away. Yeah, it's not like it was with Charlton Heston, is it? I mean, we've got other organizations that kind of do what the NRA used to, and they're bigger and growing. So I don't think it'll ever be completely gone fighting for our rights. Uh, Debbie says, when I was a bartender, I served Wayne LaPierre and his girlfriend. He's a shitty tipper. I'm not sure who that is, to be honest. But um, bartending, I think. Well, I don't know. What's it like in bartending in down in Louisiana, right? Um, I know in Tennessee, bartenders and servers made only like $2 an hour, um, or two and change. Um, and I'm pretty sure that's pretty common across the country. Like I even served tables when I was in Boise for a short time, and there were only three and change. So it was a little bit more, but I guess cost of living was a little bit different there. Um, but um, where was I going with this? The tipping thing. But I did notice like there's a lot of like places like coffee shops or donut shops or uh, hell, even like Taco Bell or something like that. They ask if you want to leave a tip. And it's like, no, I'm not leaving a tip for something that I got to walk up to the register to pay for. You know, you're getting paid a minimum wage or getting paid a wage. Why would I tip you? Uh, Tom Meyer says, "Don't tread on my Second Amendment and don't tread on my gooning." See, I'm still not totally familiar with that whole gooning shit. Um, that's so freaking millennial. Um, from my understanding, God, what was it that I had my buddy? He's a millennial, and um, he was trying to explain it to me. Um, yeah, I'm not. I I don't even want to guess. I think it has something to do with uh, sexuality or something like that. Michael Caine says we need mandatory term limits across the board. Absolutely. We should not have representatives or congressmen or, well, I think justices are a little bit different. But um, definitely not uh, representatives or congressmen. They 2 terms, 3 terms tops, and they're done. I don't think a representative should be. Nobody should be in political office or political standing for longer than what? What do you guys say? 6, 8, 10 years? Uh, Michael Caine says Tom Selleck was their spokesman for a while. I remember Rosie O'Donnell was very disrespectful to him on her talk show, and it led to it being canceled. Good, good. Florida, Wayne is head of the NRA. Wayne. Yeah, I'm not sure who Wayne is. I only know two. One's a rapper and one's dead. I tell them I got a tip, or Michael says, I tell them I got a tip for you, a little pink one. You're funny. Just kidding. I would never be that crass. Yeah, right. I've never actually done that. Me personally, if I just kind of ignore it like it's not even there. I don't even bother, uh, even giving it any kind of attention. I don't pay it any mind. Just nope. You're not entitled to my money just because you freaking have a low paying job. Uh, as a child, or Tom says, as a child, I would pray for Rosie that she would leave her life of lesbianism and adultery. Yeah, I was right there with you. Because, I mean, Rosie O'Donnell was funny, back in the day. I wouldn't even say, I guess me being younger, I guess I was more easily amused. So that's probably why she was funny. Because, like, I can watch it today and it's not even funny at all. But she wasn't this bad, you know what I mean? She wasn't this freaking crazy. And then with the wokeism uh, infecting everything, she was very, very susceptible to it. So, especially with her degeneracy, yeah, she was a lot more susceptible to it. Michael Caine says that Tom Meyer's new season of Sex and the City spinoff show, and just like that, began with old Rosie doing stuff with another woman. I turned it off and felt a little dizzy, or ill and dizzy. Yeah, just thinking about it makes me freaking ill. Sumo Boy says Oprah, Ellen DeGeneres, Rosie, all canceled. There's something about Ellen though. I don't, and I'm actually surprised Oprah's canceled, to be honest. Because I mean, the lefties still love them. I mean, it's kind of like The View, right? Why is The View not canceled? Oprah was kind of along the same lines as they are, so I don't see why she was canceled, or if she was even canceled, or she just quit. But and then Ellen DeGeneres, I think, was kind of forced off the air. Not really. I think it had something to do with what had nothing to do with her being a lesbian. I don't believe. I think there was an altercation or something like that. And Rosie, well, yeah, Rosie was doomed to fail, in my opinion. Oh, Wayne Lapierre, okay, is the head of the NRA, and he's a lousy tipper. That's horrible. You'd think he'd be, conservative. Tom Meyer says, Michael, that is revolting, right? I completely agree. That's so funny. Yeah, it's freaking extremely revolting. Freaking just sickening. Let's see. That is a type of New York City woke mind virus that is trying to infect us all. Yep, I completely agree. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of the things that we would that are going on today. You never even think would go on like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Back in the 70s and 80s, even 90s. It wasn't even that prominent. I know like there was gay people. I'm sure there was probably even earlier than that there were, but It wasn't like every person you met was gay or lesbian or whatever or homosexual, um, but now it seems like you can't go into a grocery store or even a liquor store without running into somebody that's gay. You know what I mean? And it's it's sad. It's just completely sad. Let's see. Sumo Boy says Ellen was shitty to her crew or something. Is that what it was? The last time I heard anything about it was probably several months ago. Um, it came up in something I was watching. Um, but I don't know the complete details about it. Um, Michael Caine says Dakota Johnson exposed Ellen DeGenerate as the lying degenerate she is. Was it really Dakota Johnson? That's funny. I know, like, what was it? Dakota Johnson was in Madam Web, and even she was like, didn't feel right about the movie. Like, just completely disliked the movie. Even though I don't think she did a bad job in the movie. I watched it. It didn't seem like it was that bad of a movie. And um, she definitely didn't do all that bad. She seemed like, I mean, going from something like 50 Shades of Grey to being Madam Web, um, it was like completely like night and day, I guess. Even though she was pretty mature in 50 Shades, um, at least more conservative, I would say. But Madam Web, it was completely a conservative perspective from her role, I would say. Um, yeah, it was weird, but she did a great job, I think. Oh, let's see. All right, any last comments or opinions that we want to share? We got about 10 minutes until the gaming channel, so I got a time for one or two more. Uh, Tom Meyer says it's called being in the closet for a reason. Keep it there. Stop trying to force it down my throat, making me watch it every night and day, and making me think about when I'm at work. I'm guessing you're saying make me think about it while I'm at work. Yeah, exactly. It's always there. Like before, you didn't have to worry about it. It didn't come up. And if it did, it was very, very rare, sparingly. Um, but now everybody not only claims to be degenerate, but they proudly promote it like it's something to praise. And it's like you're actively going in against, in my belief, you're actively sinning, or even from uh, a non-religious point of view, uh, a secular. That's it. Even from a secular point of view, you're still going against nature um, by being this degenerate. You know what I mean? Um, and they just completely promote that crap, and it's a plague. It's a definitely an infection of the mind. Michael Caine says leftism is all about inversion, brain rot. I would say that not really inversion, but more brain rot. It's more of um, momentary satisfaction, um, I think it's more selfish rather than what you can provide to somebody or someone else. It's more about what they can provide for you, and it's a horrible society to live in when you got that kind of mentality. Same with success and squalor. Uh, oh, welcome in, Chad. Um, so Chad says, "That's my Lord and oh my soul, I worship this holy name." And he also says, "I have internet access for now." Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Chad. Okay, bizarre. All right, guys. I've got 10 minutes to get all set up for the gaming channel. Like I said, I'll be on there playing Horizon Zero Dawn. You guys are more than welcome to come over. Actually, I will put the game channel up in the on the or on the stream. There you go. There you go. You can follow or join me over there. If you haven't followed me over on the game channel, I definitely encourage you to come over and follow. On there, I've actually got like 97 followers. I'm only 3 away from getting that 100 follower goal. I really appreciate it if y'all jump over there and hit that follow button for me so I can reach it. Um, Tonight I'm going to be playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I believe I've already gotten through the first part. And I think you could probably go in and see old videos of my gameplay. Um, I know they're time gated on Twitch, which I'm not too thrilled about, but which is why I think I'm going to try to drag them over to YouTube in a playlist. But what else? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and play that. I'd love to see y'all there. Uh, oh, is it a song you like? Okay, cool. Well, wow, phone picked that up or picked up something. Um, Debbie, you can jump over on Twitch with us. You're welcome to come over. But all right, guys. Yeah. Again, twitch.tv/JAS Gaming Entertainment. Hope to see y'all there. Have a great night, guys. And if you're not joining me over on the gaming channel, I should mention this too. Monday, we'll be going live with Jack for the open discussion. We'll bring up some more topics and we'll chat about that on Monday. All right. Take care, y'all. Thanks for joining me tonight.